Hi, Bobo! Christ on all! Hello, peoplings! Welcome back! I am Tigress, and I hope you're all good. I can't fucking speak today, I swear to God. Anyway, right, so, long story short, for the start, I've been thoroughly peed off because Microsoft fucking bastards. And then latest update on Windows 11, which I'm sure a lot of you are aware of. Like, a lot of people are hating it, but this is not the point of this video today. Anyway, because of that, it rendered my laptop fucking non-usable. Like, I just couldn't use it. Like, my laptop, unfortunately, has only got 1 terabyte on it, but you know, it is what it is. I just delete my game, like uninstall my games, reinstall my games, and whatever else in between. And it has limited capacity for what it is, right? But I'm trying with it, right? Now, I haven't been able to do like any of my other recordings because the only games I can play are the smaller ones. It would not, or not even would not, it did not have the space for me to play Long Dark or any of my other bigger games. So I was just like, for fuck's sake, what am I supposed to do now then? So I literally, oh my God, I went on like this painstaking, like I just couldn't be arsed with this. I was like, I will calm down now, I'll come back and fix it. It took me like, I think it was like 5 hours to sort it out, where I had to back up everything, like, and then do a completely factory reset because I couldn't uninstall Windows 11, go back to Windows 10. And then it was saying like, oh, if you want to go back to Windows 10, you have to do like this super clean install or whatever the fuck it was. And I was like, oh, I can't be asked for that. Let me just see what I can do. I then factory reset everything, backed up everything, and I was like, yes, okay, I think I fixed it. Only to then try to get all my stuff back, and it just would not work. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake! Because usually anytime I go onto a new laptop or a new PC, I type all my shit in, log in, and all my stuff is there. No, not this time. So it took fucking forever just to fucking fix it. Just, oh my God. This is why I can't stand PCs. Fuck PCs. Don't get me wrong, right? Sorry if I'm peeking my mic, and I know for the fact that I'm peeking my mic, but I don't care right now. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind playing PC games and stuff like that, but if I could do all this shit on my PlayStation, I'd be so happy. Simple, clean, fucking pristine, easy as piss to use. None of this, you know what, I'm going to end up going on a massive tangent about this, but I may do that another time. However, right, this is my beef when it comes to PCs versus Mac. Mac is just fucking trying too hard to be different. I can't be arsed with it. I prefer PCs over that. Anyway, I like simplicity. Half the shit I see does not need to be that complicated. I've seen so many other like other programs or websites or stuff like that do half the shit that they're supposed to do in the simplistic manner without all the extra fucking anal details. It does not need to be that intricate by any means necessary. Not by any means at all. I'm talking about, for example, like Photoshop. I cannot fathom Photoshop. I need someone to teach me. Like, I'm one of those visual learners. I need someone to stand there or sit there with me, teach me how to use this. So if I've got any questions or whatever, they can answer it. Trying to learn off YouTube videos and shit like that pisses me the fuck off. I found a simplistic one called Canva. Don't get me wrong, Canva's good for what it is. It's simple, it's easy to use, whatever. It doesn't do all the massive intricacies that, like, what I could do with Photoshop or whatever. But, you know, for someone like me, you know, it does what it says on the tin until I'm able to do something more. But anyway, that's besides the point, which you will see what I mean. So, like, for example, I wanted to do something with my little avatar for the purpose of this video, but I do not have the funds to do any of that with Canva, and it's only got like, I think it's like a 30-day free 30-day free trial or like a 7-day free trial, and then after that I'm fucked, so I can't be arsed. And I can't afford Photoshop right now because that shit's too, well, Adobe's fucked themselves anyway because they're just diabolically expensive and it's horrific as hell. I can't even afford to get like Adobe After Effects or whatever the fuck, so I'm just making do. But anyway, apologize. I've just been on a massive like tech issue journey, and it's fucked me off to no end. Either way, that's not the purpose of today's video, right? That will be like a monumental fucking thing on another time I decide to do it. But for now, today is about God of fucking War! I need to calm down. I can't calm down! Fucking God of War is fucking sick! Ah! Right, I need to calm down. Okay, I am calm. So, I was watching... Who was I watching? What's his name again? Let me get his name up so I don't forget. So his name is Wae Gaming. I recently come across him, and you know what? I find him fucking hilarious. He's very like chill. He's very like mono, but I like him. I like watching him. He's funny. I came across one of his videos where he's playing Bratz, and I was just like, grown ass man playing Bratz. I need to watch this, and I loved it. He just made me laugh. But anyway. So apparently, he said that there was a rumor that they were making a remake of God of War, like the trilogy, the first 3 games. I was like, surely not, surely fucking not. And then lo and behold, they are like. I'm so sorry. I need to calm down. I need to calm the fuck down. Okay, so before we get into the video of the announcement, right? I'm just going to put this out there. I didn't grow up playing God of War games. Shocker, I know, when they came out on PS2. But then again, even if I did, my mother would nowhere near let me play that shit. Absolutely not, and I know that for a fact. Plus, I couldn't go out and get it myself anyway because the game is like an 18. I think that's like rated R in America, whereas, yeah, whatever. Anyway, so, when I tried to play them when PlayStation had PS Now, which was basically what PS Plus subscription is now. But you would stream the games. And even though I had really good internet, there's one specific part of the first game that every time I got to it, the fucking thing would just crash. I was like, fuck this, I can't be arsed, I cannot be arsed. So I just didn't play it. Then, I think this was just before Ragnarok came out, or a little bit after it. No, I think it was before. Yeah. Was it before or after? I can't remember. Anyway, sometime around about that point anyway. So, excuse me. So I was like, okay, it's free on PlayStation, the rebooted version of God of War, where he has a son. If you haven't played it, spoiler, he has a son. Oh yeah, for those who haven't played God of War, or haven't watched people play God of War, there will be spoilers in this video, so if you don't want to know, fuck off. Anyway, back to it. So, you've been warned. Anyway, so yeah, so obviously he's got a son.
That's what you get!
Boy, look at me, boy.
And his name is Atreus, and so on and so forth, as we all know. But instead of it being in Greece, like the original 3, he is now in Norse land, the land of the Vikings, the land of Odin and Loki and Thor, and many more, and so on. Land of the Norse gods. That was the first proper God of War game I played. And even though I didn't play the first 3, well, the first few in their entirety, I understood why a lot of people at the time were saying like they don't like the mechanics. They've made it very RPG and so on and so forth. Because God of War is a slash 'em up game where you literally just go around doing combo attacks, and you know, it was a very simplistic game, which they don't really do anything like that anymore. And if they do, it tends to be like those 8-bit games, where it's like it's got like the quality, I say quality, it's got the what's the word I'm looking for, not the quality, it's got the aesthetics of like Stardew Valley. And it's just stuff like that, you gotta like hit combos. Or if it's like a fighter game where it's like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter or Tekken or whatever the fuck. That's the only time I ever see anything that's got anything to do with combos anymore. There's just nothing like that anymore. But anyway, so I played it, and I can't lie, the mechanics of it kind of frustrated me a little bit. It wasn't complicated, it's just it kind of frustrated me because there was a lot of reading involved. Now, if there's a lot of reading involved, I'm not that arsed about it. Like, I really want to get into Monster Hunter because it looks like my type of game, but every time I get into it, there's just so much to take in, and I just can't be arsed. Like, that game is a proper grind game. Like, that franchise is proper grinding franchise. And again, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not my cup of tea. I'd happily watch someone play it. And like if I was sat in the living room with them playing it, or in their bedroom, when they're playing on their PC or whatever platform they decide to play it on, I'd be more than happy to watch it. But again, the issue for me is just more so that I just can't do it. It's just too much. And then if it's one of those games that you kind of had to have started off round about when the franchise was easy to get into, because the latest one where you get like a dog and you get a cat, I can't remember. You know what? There's so many I can't remember which one it is. But anyway, you get a dog and a cat. You design them. You design your character, whatever else, and you could ride around on the dog if you wanted to. I tried to play that one, and I think I tried to play 2 or 3 other ones before that, round about when they were still on when they were on the DS and the Wii U, I think it was. Yeah. So, like I said, I tried to get into it, and I just couldn't. Like, I started to, and I was like, yeah, okay, I can do this, no problem, blah, 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 blah. But then I hit a snag, and then it was like, if I didn't play it consistently, I'd just forget everything. It's just too much, in my opinion. Like, don't get me wrong, for what it is, that franchise and that game is phenomenal. There's so much in it, but it's just too much. It is just a bit too much, and like they keep adding more to it, or it's very intricate. That's the word. It's very, very intricate, and I just can't do it unless I'm in like a concentrating mood. I can't do it. Same as like The Witcher 3. Like, I've got it. I remember when they brought out the third one, and then they made like the Game of the Year edition. So I remember watching PewDiePie play it like back in the day. And then I was like, yo, you know what? I want to play this game. This is right up my alley. It's fun, fancy, whatever. Let me have a go. Went to the game shop, and the guy was just like, oh, someone's just handed in the Game of the Year edition. They didn't even open it. And instead of paying 40 quid for it at the time, I got it for half price. I was like, yes, mate, thank you very much. I was like, thank you. And every time I start it, I get to a certain point, then I like stop playing it because like life gets in the way and I have to do other stuff and whatever. By the time I come back, I'm like, the fuck was I doing again? I can't even remember. And then I have to relearn everything, because that's one of those games you have to play consistently, because the battle mechanics and so on are so intricate. If you forget it, you're fucked. Like, if I go away, like I've replayed Kingdom Hearts so many times. Kingdom Hearts is one of my absolute favorite games, right? Like, my top 3 games of all time. That franchise, I love it. Like, when it first came out, I remember watching my cousin play it. Like, my cousin was playing it. Me and his sister would watch him play it. So we would huddle together. Like, every time I went over their house for my uncle's house for like summer holidays and stuff like that, we would play. Well, he would play it, and we would play it, but he would play it and we would watch, and it was just so cool. Like, I didn't know anything really about Final Fantasy until I got a little bit older. But like I said, anyway, having that be mixed with Disney was just, oh my god, it was just so good. It was so mind blowing, because you got to see like a different side to these characters you grew up loving and so on. And then the second one came out, and my mum bought it for me because we went food shopping. I was like, oh, I didn't know the second one was out. I was like, and she's like, okay, you've been good, you can have it. And I was like, yeah! I got home, as soon as I got home, whapped on my PlayStation 2, played it, fucking loved it. I killed that game so much, to the point where certain cutscenes now, if you play it, it makes like digital, like robotic sounds. That's how much I rinsed the disc. But anyway, circling back, right? What was I saying? Yeah, so back to God of War. Sorry, got on a tangent. So yeah, back to God of War. So like I said, I played the reboot where he has a son and you go on this massive journey in like this semi-open world game. That game, to me, I was like, okay, this is really good. I'm really enjoying this and whatever. I love the story. I love the dialogue. We love the dwarfs. They are so cool. Fucking Brock and Sintry. Love them. Absolutely love them. You know what? I wish Brock was like my uncle. Like, I really do. Anyway, he's so cool. But anyway, yeah. So playing that, it was really cool, and it was really cool to see how Kratos basically tried to overcome his fears with his son and stuff like that. You know, trying to like fight off demons in his head from his past. And, like, you can see the difference between how he was in the first three versus this one. Right now, like I said, I didn't play them, but I knew enough about it from like people who have played it at the time and stuff like that. So as I was playing it, I enjoy. You know what? It just brought back good, good, good nostalgia games for me, like gameplay wise. So granted, um, sorry, my brain is moving faster than my mouth can keep up. So a lot of games these days, right? They tend to be open world, which I don't mind. I do love open world, especially like when it comes to Breath of the Wild and stuff like that. I love open world. But a lot of the open world games today is where you have to do a lot of backtracking. And I know you did do that in God of War, but like you can go off and do like exploration and stuff like that, which I did enjoy because it was a completely different realm. You had this guy who come from a completely different land, completely different mythology. Granted, he's not even part of real life Greek mythology, but yet he was in a place he had no business of being, and that was just really cool. Like I know Tyr did go around and to like other parts, like other countries, to see like other mythologies and stuff like that. I get it, but we didn't see it. So, you know, Kratos was like our only one to do that. But anyway, so yeah, so going off and exploring around, stuff like that, you did have to backtrack until you learned something or you got a new power or got a new weapon and stuff like that. Or you had to meet a new character, like when you met Freya, and then that was like the only way to get around certain places and whatever and whatever. And then obviously you had to backtrack again because, well, you couldn't get to Jorgenheim. I think it was Jorgenheim. I will look it up, but anyway, you have to get back to you know, the whole point is that you're trying to get to the highest peak to spread his wife's ashes, to spread Atreus' mother's ashes. Then you do, and then you you meet the absolute legend. I absolutely love this man. Granted, he is just a head now, but like, you know, hang on, what was his name again? Can't believe I forgot his name. What was his name again? Mimir! That's it. That's it. I can't believe I've completely forgot. Oh. Anyway, yeah, you meet Mimir and then you end up having to battle those two fucking dickheads and then breaks everything, whatever else in between. So then you're fucked. Then you have to go on a massive journey yet again to try and get to the land of the giants, to get to the tallest peak to spread her ashes. So, like I said, playing it, I had so much fun. And then there was like that side mission where after you get a piece of that anvil, not anvil, was it a piece of the chisel? I think it was chisel or hammer, and you can get into like the cells where the Valkyries are. Oh my god, those fucking Valkyries, right? Those Valkyries, they were so. Oh my god, like the first three were a piece of piss. A piece of piss. But like, I struggled because obviously I wasn't really at the level appropriate enough to do it, but I still done it. And then I leveled up a bit more, then I went back and done it and beat them all. But the Queen one was like the fucking, oh my god, it took me 3 days. Now, I don't play my games on hard, right? I don't, because it's not enjoyable for me. It might be for some people who are into that, like a kink. Not for me. I despise it. I like a balanced gameplay where there's a challenge, but it's not too challenging when I'm like, fuck this game, I can't be arsed. Like how people like to play Souls and Bloodborne and Elden Ring, and then they like to get their nipples twisted as they fucking get frustrated because they keep dying over and over and over and over and over again. Like, I'm not a fan of that. Like, don't get me wrong, I started playing Elden Ring a while ago, and I actually enjoyed it because I didn't think it would be a game I would enjoy. I thought it would just be just one of those ones that I'd prefer to watch people to play, but I actually enjoy it. It is difficult, but I am actually enjoying it. Haven't finished it though, but like I said, I'm enjoying it nonetheless. Right? So anyway, back to it. Yeah. So, it took me 3 fucking days to beat that bitch! Beat that fucking bitch! Oh my god! Oh my god! The level of rage and frustration that went through me, you have no idea. And then the day I did beat her, this is what happened, right? So, I got to a point, like I had a strategy for this, but anyway, I got to a point where I was like, okay, today is the day. Done it, and she had like a slither of health left, and I died. And I was like, I didn't curse, I didn't do anything. I was just like, you know what? Because I had tried like two or three times before now. So I was like, okay, put the controller down. I went into the kitchen. I literally did the dishes, made myself a cup of tea, come back, sat down, drank, calm. Okay, back to it. Went to do it, died, and I was like, oh, okay. Did it again, and as everyone says these days, because I hate using slang nowadays, because fucking shit, but I was fucking in the game. I locked in. I was in the fucking game. And then, because usually you tend to watch the health bar go down, don't you? When you versus like a certain boss, you do watch the health bar go down. This time I didn't. And I was just like, nope, nothing. And my housemate at the time came in. I was like, shut the fuck up. So then he just stood there, watched me while I was in the living room doing it. And the next thing you know, I saw the press R3 and L3, and I was like, fucking right, Kratos! He's just fucking jogging towards. I was like, fucking run! Done it, and then like, he did this whole thing with, you know, the cutscene where he gripped her, ripped her wings off, and fucking ripped her head off, and I was just like, yes! And I waited for the cutscene and like the dialogue, and then when that was, I was like, fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you, stupid Valkyrie bitch! Fuck you! I was so happy. And then I sat there on the fucking, like the pure pleasure of it, and I was just like, I don't know what to do with myself now. Because, like, I know everyone plays games however they play their games and stuff, but like, I play my games where, if I can, I'll go off and do the side stuff first, just so I can like level up a little bit quicker, maybe get like some like goodies a bit quicker and stuff like that. The Valkyries were something that, you know, you can do as you go, and then if you didn't, you know, finish them by the time you finish the entire game, you can go back and do it like after game stuff. Now, I don't like doing stuff like that, because once I finish a story of the game, once I finish the game, I don't like going back to do side stuff. I like to do it as I'm playing the game, because to do it afterwards, it doesn't sit right with me, purely because there's no like after effects for it. Like, there's just no, like, okay, in God of War, right, in that one, if you did it afterwards, you'd be doing it while everything is starting to snow, because Fimbulwinter has now come, because you've killed Freya's son. I can't remember his name. I'll look at Boulder. That's it. You've killed Boulder because he's now no longer immortal like she did, because obviously she wanted a child to live. Doing that whole thing that, you know, tale as old as time, is that you do something to prevent something from happening, and then because you've done that, you've now caused it. So if she hadn't made her son immortal, that wouldn't have happened, right? But like I said, the frustration I got from playing some of the like fighting some of these bosses and stuff, like even when you're in where was it? You're in that I can't remember what it's called. I'll have to look it up. But you're in that place where you do go to get that little pick, so you can enter like those places that Odin's locked down and you can't get in without it. When you go to that hall and you fight Thor's sons, you end up killing one of them. Like, that fight was so much fun. Even the fight with Boulder at the end was so much fun. It was a bit frustrating, yeah, but it was fun. A lot of the fights in that game was fun, and in classic video game fashion, you do end up fighting a lot of enemies that are literally the same, repeated no matter where you go. Like, that's just standard gaming because, it's hard to come up with a lot, and I mean a lot of different enemies, which they did have a range, in all fairness, more than usual, but either way, it was still fun. But the reason why I loved it so much is because it brought back the feeling of old school games. And I have to call them old school now because they're ones that I grew up with and stuff like that, which a lot of kids these days just don't have that. Like my little cousin, he's 18, right? So he's just over half of my age. And 3 years to be exact. And they don't, like, he would play the games I would play because I would introduce them to him. So he kind of come around when like PS2 was dying out and PS3 was now like the biggest thing. So around about that era, and he would play, like I said, the games that I would play, which he did enjoy and stuff like that. But a lot of kids these days don't have that level of attachment to games because it's all about online, it's all about fucking battle royales like fucking Fortnite and Overwatch and all that fucking bullshit. And then as if it's not that, it's Call of Duty or it's sports games. Those tend to be the ones that are like everywhere at the moment. Now, a lot of you can turn around and go, oh, but what about indie games? Like, I don't want to include indie games in this purely because indie games are just good. They're just so good. Because they're different, they're out there, especially like the horror ones and stuff like that. So I don't want to include them. Just because they're in a genre all on their own. And they're just like there's something for everyone in it. But when it comes to like AAA games, it's hit and miss for some people. Like there's one that came out recently, I can't remember the name, but I'll look it up anyway, where it was literally stop motion and it's a horror. It looks kind of like on the level of like Little Nightmares, and it looked good. Like I do plan on playing it, but I just need the money first. But again, that looked good. But there hasn't been any games to come out recently where I've been like, ooh, like that was delicious. I could sink my teeth into it. I haven't had that. And then, like, I hadn't had that for a long time until I played God of War. And I loved it so much that I was like, okay, let me upgrade my subscription on fucking PlayStation Plus, PS Plus, so I can play the other ones. And I pretty much played God of War for like a month. Like all the other ones for like a month. And then a few months later, I finally had enough money, got a PS5, I got the slim version, and then I played Ragnarok. Now, I don't know what other people have said about Ragnarok, but I'm gonna say my piece on it, right? Ragnarok, I enjoyed it, but it felt like it was lacking something. It felt rushed, but it felt like it was lacking something. It was the same as Tears of the Kingdom. Loads of people looked forward to that game so much since like the announcement trailer that came back way ages ago. I think it was like 2014. No, 2016, 2017, something like that. When it got announced, I'll have to double check. But loads of people was looking forward to that, myself included. And then, don't get me wrong, again, it was good. It was so good. Now, when I say it was so good, the story was but I enjoyed it. But then the game mechanics are so cool, where you like people could build stuff and you can turn back time, you can climb through walls, that type of stuff. All of that made that game so good. And the fact that they had like extra levels, like don't get me wrong, the underground part was like a bit of a piss take because it was fucking huge and that pissed me off. But other than that, it was a good game. I enjoyed it. I do wish the ending had been slightly different because you can see that coming from a mile away. Again, spoilers. The ending is Ganon has been trapped under Hyrule for so long, which you see in the beginning. But then in the end, he eats the little, I can't remember what it's called, but he eats the pearl thing and then he turns into a dragon, because you're not supposed to do that, and it makes you immortal, which immortality for them is becoming a dragon. So he turned into this like corrupted dragon, right? And I was like, oh, okay, that would have been cool. But they kind of made him just a blobby version of like the standard dragons. Because like you see at one point that Zelda turned herself into a dragon so she could repair the Master Sword quicker after it got shattered and like split in half by Ganon. So like, you know, she turned into a dragon and he turned into a dragon and whatever else in between. But if they're going to do that, I wish they like changed the design far more drastic than what they did. But again, it was a fun boss. I did enjoy the game, and that's that. Ragnarok, but again, it still felt like it was lacking, just like Ragnarok. Ragnarok was good. The story was good, apart from like the constant going back and forth and stuff like that. Otherwise, that it was still a good game. It's just certain things about it. I was just like, oh, this is just fucking long. Or how am I supposed to get over there? Why is it just like, what am I missing? Type of stuff. But again, overall, it was a fun game. It was just, again, a little lackluster. I don't know what it was that it was lacking, but there was just something about it that it didn't quite have the same oomph as its predecessor. And that's all I can compare it to, because I can't compare it to the earlier versions, because they were written completely different. Gameplay, story-wise, and everything else in between. Completely different. And that one followed a different mythology as to this one, right? Now, like I said, getting back to it. The reason why I'm doing this today is because I love God of War. And like I only found out recently that they did a remastered version, so you could play them on PS4. And I ended up buying it from my friend from like as second hand, and I haven't played it yet, but I will, because I fucking love God of War. But anyway, so the point is, they're making a remake of the trilogy. Now the first one, so we'll go through them all, but first we will watch the video, and then I'll get into some articles I found and stuff, where a lot of people are a little scared because they've confirmed that they're going to change the combat system. And if they're going to make it like its predecessor, predecessors beforehand, its descendant, I'll put it that way. If they're going to do it like based off of their descendants, which is the God of War reboot and Ragnarok, I'm a little worried, because, well, RPG just don't suit slash 'em up. Like, there was a level up system in those games. They were very, very simplified. And I'll also get into the other things, right? Of why I don't think, if they are going to do what they're going to do, why I don't think it's going to work as well. And we'll go from there. Now, let's watch it. I can't wait. Yeah! Santa Monica Studio. Ooh!
Your son has returned.
Mama! I got teary eyes. I need to calm down.
Hey, what's happening, fam? It is OGTC, the original God of War. How y'all doing today? I'm so glad you're hanging out, and I want you to know, as we close out this last few months of the God of War's 20th anniversary, I'm thrilled to bring you some exciting news about the series today. Now look, we are happy and excited to finally confirm that, the Greek trilogy remake is now in development. Yeah, man, I know. Sit down. Now look, this project is still in the early stages, so it'll be a minute before we get back to share another update, right? But I'm telling you, next time we come back, we coming with something big, baby. Yeah. So, closing, I want to say thank you. Thank you all for your patience. You've been waiting. So thank you for your patience. But most of all, I want to thank you all for supporting this God of War franchise all these years. Appreciate you. Peace.
PlayStation.
I can't wait to. Sorry, I need to calm down. Okay. So, yeah, so like I said, and the fact that they got the OG, my guy, who was also in Final Destination, if you all don't know this, I think it was, he was in the second one. But anyway, so, oh mate, it's the 20th anniversary of fucking God of War. Like, that mean I was 10 when that shit came out, which obviously means I'm not going to be able to play that. Like, my mother would obviously say no. Plus, I don't think at that point I had a PlayStation just yet. I did get one at some point, but I don't think I was 10. Was I 10? No, I was a little bit... No, it was earlier than that. Anyway, whatever. So, yes. So, see? No, that's how you do it. Oh, mate, it just reminds me of all the fucking music. There's too many things to go over. I need to calm down. Calm the fuck down, bitch! Okay, right. So, like I said, this is going to be really fucking cool. But the only issue when it comes to a remake is that they change shit. Now, to start off with some of the basics, we'll start with why I don't think it's going to work as well. Like, I'm still going to play them just to see the differences between the originals versus this. But I don't think it's going to work as well, and here is why. Now, one, God of War worked in the format that it did, where it's zoomed out, you can see the character as you play. It is in third person, but it wasn't like close third person, like over your shoulder, which is one of the things I didn't like when I played the rebooted version where he had a son. Okay, I'm just going to call that God of War Reboot and be done. So we've got a name attached to it. So, right. Yeah, and that one wasn't as much of a slash 'em up as it was RPG. Whereas OG's very slash 'em up, very just like button mashing, and it was just fun to do with good story, good visuals, and everything else in between. Now, I know a lot of people are like, oh, but the graphics and blah, 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 blah. Fuck that, I don't care. Here's what a lot of people, especially nowadays, don't get. Graphics aside, like a lot of games that came out like from the Wii going backwards, graphics aside, they were fucking phenomenal games. And they had a lot of character to them. Like, okay, I've played the HD version of Twilight Princess, and I played the original that came out on the Wii. Like, I know it came out on other consoles, but the Wii is the main one in my head. And I prefer the version on the Wii because it's got grit and graininess to it that adds to the atmosphere of the game and the world around it. Whereas the HD version just cleaned that shit away and it just left it pretty and shit. It's still a good game, and then obviously they mirrored everything just to make it different, but I did not like how they handled the quality of it at all. Like, if they were going to HDify it, they could have at least made the same thing but cleaner, whereas they just removed everything that gave that game character. Now, the reboot God of War is open world, like I said, to an extent. You do get to go off and wander around, but you wander around into other rooms, shall we say, of like the map as you go up. In the OG ones, like it was with all the games back then, you were in a set map, you were in a set level. Now, a lot of people I don't think realise this, but games back then were also very good, if not for their story, but also for their level design, right? So it was more about the environment that they were in, that the game had to kind of be built around, because they didn't have the power nor the processors or the engines that we do now to make these type of games. So like back then, you'd have to build a map to suit that game, and that's what made games so good. The level design that they used to do, where you'd actually be interacting with the environment far more than, oh look, let me go climb up this yellow pipe, like in fucking, what's it called, Horizon Zero Dawn. Oh look, yellow pipe, let me climb up there. Oh look, another yellow pipe, let me go climb up there. Blah 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 blah. Like you would climb up there just to like get to a platform to open up a box or something like that, and you fuck off. Whereas in the old school games, the level was part of the game. I know this sounds ridiculous because the levels are obviously part of the game, but the levels were part of the game in terms of, like, there's one specific map in the first game that I remember where you go down and then you meet this, like, mini boss where it's like a mechanical centaur. It was fucking sick. And you had to use the room around you to obviously beat it. And I know you still do that with some games, but not as much as this one. And in the second one, I think it was the second one. Yeah, I think it was the second one. There was like this whole map area where you had to climb across this statue of one of the gods in a chariot on their horses in the middle of the ocean somewhere, in the middle of the sea. That was so cool. And then at one point they started moving. Like, that shit was so cool. And then you end up fighting this guy in this little pool area with this massive glass window, this stained glass window. It was beautiful and it was so good. And like I said, you had to move around the level to get from one place to another. And a lot of the games back then as well made you think about what you were doing. Like, there's one specific part in the first one where you have this massive this massive not trebuchet, what's it called? Crossbow. Where you have to move it to this room where you have to pull this lever to get it to turn around. And you have to do that a few times to get it into the position that you want. And you don't really see that in like games nowadays. You don't see puzzles like that. You don't see games that challenge your intelligence anymore. Not by any means. They do hold your hand to go places because the open world they've made is just so big, you could get lost in it. Like in Breath of the Wild, that's pretty much what it was. You go around, you explore, you come across something, whatever. But like, yeah, don't get me wrong, it gave you clear insight of where you needed to go for the story, or where you needed to go to pick up like to go back for like your side missions and stuff like that. But overall, you just go off and you're left to your own devices. Nowadays, there's not so much of that, unfortunately. But anyway, so yeah, so in that one, oh my god, and then even in like the third one, that was the same. Like, it was a very much puzzle-based slash and beat 'em up game, but it was just so good. The third one, the fucking intro alone, was so fucking good. Like, I will play the intro for you. Right here.
My vengeance ends now. My brothers, we were forged in victory. A victory that ended the Great War and brought forth the reign of Mount Olympus. Born from the depths of the underworld, rooted in the river of souls, our mountain emerged out of the chaos. As it grew, so too did the might of the Olympians. We created a world of peace, a world of prosperity, a world that lives in the shadow and safety of my mountain. A mountain that has come to be the absolute measure of strength and power. be tested. The mortal Kratos seeks to destroy all that I have wrought. Brothers, put aside the petty grievances that have splintered us for so long. We will unite. We will stand together. And I will wipe out this plague. Olympus will prevail.
Sun has returned. I bring the destruction of Olympus!
The Titans will fail again!
Hurry, Spartan!
disrespected the gods for the last time, Kratos. I will leave nothing of you in my wake. All of Olympus unites against you.
Jump to my hand!
For the greatness of Olympus!
Zeus should have kept you where you belong. No matter how many gods fall, there will always be another to stand against you.
They will fall as well.
The death of Olympus means the death of us all.
Then prepare for your death, Poseidon.
of Zeus is within our reach. Climb to my hand.
What will you do, Father? You can no longer hide behind the skirts of Athena.
Athena is dead because of the rage that consumes you, Kratos. What more will you destroy?
The hands of death could not defeat me. The sisters of fate could not hold me. And you will not see the end of this day. I will have my revenge!
Excellent child! I will tolerate your insolence no more!
I can hold on no longer!
If I help you, we will both fall. Even now, Zeus gains.
The destruction of Zeus is why you saved me from death!
I saved you to serve the Titans.
Do not deny me my revenge!
Listen carefully, Kratos. You were a simple pawn, nothing more. Zeus is no longer your concern. This is our war, not yours.
I have lived as a warrior. I have died as a god. Having suffered the ultimate sacrifice, I have been denied release. I will defeat Olympus. I will have my revenge.
So fucking good. Like, look at it. It's so fucking good. We don't have any of that shit anymore. Like, not at all. Right? But yeah, anyway. And this is one of the other reasons why the rebooted one didn't do as well to me as like its predecessors. Just due to the fact that it was open world. Yeah, you got to go around doing stuff. But it was very much, destroy this like little... what were they called? Destroy this room, destroy this one, and it opens up a gate. Yeah, but you have to go around looking for it. There wasn't that many puzzles in it as its predecessors, unfortunately. But again, that's just due to the fact that games back then, they had to be clever to make the game itself more engaging with really good characters and story, because they had limited capacity. Whereas nowadays you have almost an abundance of capacity, but it's very lackluster Like there are, like I said, there are some games that have come out and I'm like, ooh, that's good. Or, ooh, I love that. Blah, 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 blah. But they just don't have the same like attachment as like old school games. Like even when Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, the story was just so meh. And the fact that, like, I think there was like a licensing issue or something like that at the time anyway, between that Square Enix and Disney. But, like, don't quote me on it, but I think that's what it was, from what I remember or heard. But then, like I said, there was the story was just meh. Because the whole point of Kingdom Hearts was that you'd go around to different Disney worlds and you would play the game as you were playing, like as if you were like watching the film. Like you were going through it as you were like watching the film, and then go from there. Like that was the whole point of it. But obviously they changed it to obviously match what they were doing. Whereas the third one, by the time you got into one of the worlds, it was either like some sequel that probably, if they had done it, would have come out in like a straight to DVD or straight to VHS, for those who do remember what I'm talking about. Whereas nowadays it's like straight to streaming platform, because they didn't really believe in it type of sequel. Like that's what it was for like a lot of the worlds. And when you go to Big Hero 6 world, I think the world itself in the game is called San Francisco. When you go into it, the film's finished, but then it's like a sequel of like what happens, again spoilers, where OG Baymax comes back and he's evil because he got left behind. But the point is, he left his fucking memory card in his hand for them to bring him back. Like he was obviously shut down and like his vessel was gone and all memory and stuff was in that fucking chip. That was the whole point of it. But the gameplay was so good. The gameplay mechanics were so much fun, and I actually enjoyed it, whereas a lot of people despised it. And I understand why. I understand why they didn't like it, because they thought, oh, it was just flashy, it was just this, it was that, it was kind of empty, whatever, which it was. But some of it was fun. Like, there was good and bad with it. It's just unfortunately there was more bad with it. Like, even the Toy Story world, I was looking forward to that. Then we had this, like, spin-off story that had nothing to do with it. It was fucking weird. I enjoyed it to a certain extent, but then after a while I was just like, this is fucking boring. What the fuck, like? But, again, that's the problem with a lot of games these days, is that they keep making games where it's all about being pretty and look at this, look at the reflection of the water, look at the snow and blah 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 blah, look at the way the leaves and blah 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 blah, and then everything else is just secondary. Like the stories are always shit or lackluster, or there's just what was the point in it? And then they want us to fork out like £60 to £70. I don't know what the equivalent is in your money, but I'm going to base on British pounds. But yeah, and it's just, what's the point? Like, what is the point? And now there's like an Okami. Oh my god, I can't wait for this game. It better be as good as the first one, but I don't think it will be, if not better. Of Okami 2. So the sequel of the first Okami is now coming out like almost a decade afterwards. Well, it's in development, so it's probably going to take another 2 years maybe for it to come out. And yeah, we'll see how that goes anyway. But I hope it is as good and as characteristic as the first one. There's a lot of games that just don't have character anymore. They just don't. And that's why they keep bringing out fucking remakes or remasters and stuff like that. And then like, okay, the biggest one I can give as an example is Shadow of the Colossus. Shadow of the Colossus, I played it when they remastered it for PS3, and I only found out about it because of Smosh Games, and they were like a big thing at the time. And then I ended up, when I went to America, I ended up buying it, and it came in like a dual case for Shadow of the Colossus and Ico. And I played them, and I loved them. Oh my god, I loved them. Shadow of the Colossus is the only game, whenever I get this feeling, when I'm in a dark mood or I'm in a dark place, it's the only thing that scratches that itch. It's the only thing that does it. Now, for that one, it was then remade. They made a remake for it. I was all for it, because I was like, oh, high quality Colossi, and just, oh my god, yes. However, they did ruin the atmosphere. I don't know if people agree with me, because I did ask this on their subreddit at one point, because I was like, you know what, loads of people keep asking like their opinions and stuff, let me ask. So I asked, what did you like about the game versus what you didn't like about the game? For me personally, what I didn't like was the fact that they took away a lot of the atmosphere. So in the original, it was a dark, eerie, quiet place that made you feel like you shouldn't be there. Like when I played this game on PS3, it put me on edge. It made my anxiety spike horrifically. But that was a good thing, because the game and the atmosphere was doing what it was supposed to do. And that's why I loved it. Dorman's voice was just chef's kiss. Absolute chef's kiss. Glorious. And then everything else in between, everything else just fit. There was a perfect atmosphere. The music was phenomenal, as it always is. And like, as you traversed the land, you felt like you just shouldn't be there in this wide open space of just nothingness. Like, it truly felt like the forbidden land. The remake come along, however, and although the Colossi look good, with like, even though they did slight changes that took away some of their characteristics, it was still good. My main beef with it, though, is the fact that, one, they made it lighter. So where, like, for example, in the original, you'd go around and you felt like, I shouldn't be here. I don't want to go off and explore this place because, like, I feel like something bad's going to happen. Like, I should not be here. In the remake, they made it sunny and slightly greener and brighter, and was like, this beautiful empty land. Let me go explore and see what I can find. That's what the feeling it gave me. Where it's not supposed to. You're supposed to be in the forbidden land. You're supposed to be in a land you're not supposed to be in. The people, the chieftain, all of that said no. No, no, no. Do not enter. Do not go. It is evil. This land did not feel evil. It felt bright, joyful, like I could go camping there, or maybe have a barbecue and fucking party. That's what it felt like. And then, what was the other ones I said? It was the atmosphere, it was the fact that they made it lighter. Dorman's voice. I know it's a little thing, but it pisses me off, because it was a theory that went around, because a lot, like, the hardcore fans like to go through theories on Shadow of the Colossus and so on. Now, one of the theories was that one of the voices in Dorman's voice is the reason why I think her name is Mono. I think her name was Mono, I can't remember. It's the reason why she came back to life, because he put a little bit of himself within her, and that's why she came back. And that's why people have theorized that she's like the evil witch or the evil queen in Ico. Because that's her. That's what they're assuming anyway. So, in the remake, that voice, that female voice, it's so prominent. It just ruins the aesthetic. Like, Dorman has this voice of just like, oh my god, there is a powerful being here. I should not trifle with this creature, this essence, this whatever. I should not trifle with this person. Whereas then the remake is just like, oh my god, the reverb is so annoying. It's so annoying. It's like where people are trying to like talk, like like when you get twins and they try to talk at the same time, repeat, where they try to speak like one, but then the one is just like half a second off or like 2 seconds off, and it's out of sync and it's not in one. And yeah, it greatly annoys me. There are many other reasons why I dislike the remake, but those are like two of the main things for me. Like, aesthetically, there's like a few other things. Like, a lot of people got a problem with Wanda's face, and I am the same. He does look a bit soft and feminine, whereas like in the other one he looks very determined and striking, whatever, however you want to put it. But yeah, like I said, there's a lot of things as to why I dislike the remake, but I still enjoy it. I still like playing it, because that's pretty much the only way I can play it unless I whap out my PS3 or my PS2. But anyway, that's the main thing, like the main comparison, like the biggest one I can give, because same as like Resident Evil, that franchise has a lot of fans. I mean, a hell of a lot of fans. And I never played them growing up because, again, I was either too young or my mum said no, I didn't have a console or my cousins didn't have it. But I watched a playthrough of the entirety of the fourth one because I was curious because I'd only seen the remake of it and I watched Jacksepticeye play it. And I was like, oh, okay, let me have a look. So I had a look. And they took out a lot of character of the game. Like, there was a lot of, environmental elements that they took out. I understand why as well. For one of the big changes they did was that you don't put Ashley in a bin anymore, which, if I'm honest, they should have just kept that in, but it wouldn't fit because they changed her character. Like in the original, she was this bratty American girl who's fucking annoying, who was basically slothering between her legs over Leon. Whereas in this one, she was just like, oh, he's kind of good looking, but let me be calm, be eloquent, and be a lady and all that crap. So she had to hide in a cupboard in a locker instead, which is some people have said they did that because they didn't want people to go, oh, it's so toxic throwing a woman in a bit. Fuck off, man. It's funny as shit. You telling me you wouldn't throw a bratty ass person in the bin? I fucking would. If the roles were reversed, right, and it was a woman coming to save this bratty ass dude, best believe I'm chucking his ass in the bin. It'd be fucking funny. Hide in the bin and shut the fuck up. And you'd be like, ah! Either way, right? And then the other things I noticed was that Leon was actually funny. Like he had like some like quirky quips and stuff like that. Like a lot more in the original than they did in the remake. In the remake, they kind of died that down and made him a bit more serious, which I'm like, well, kind of defeats the purpose. Like, I understand why a lot of people enjoyed that game, why it's one of their favourites, and why Resident Evil is like a cult favourite. I get it. Like, this is the thing. A lot of games and like even films and stuff are trying to be so serious that they're lacking anything else. Like, I was just like, you know what? I prefer the original. In terms of like dialogue and stuff like that, yes, some of the stuff needs to be modernized, like the tank controls and stuff like that, because it's, you know, again, they didn't quite have the tech back then to do what we can now. So I get that certain things need to be modernized, not a problem, but some things just don't need to be changed. Like, you know, change the dialogue and stuff to make it a bit fresher and, you know, a slightly newer feel, but there's just certain things that just don't need to be changed. Like, you don't need to change the character. Now, excuse me, got a hiccup. Now, when it comes to Kratos, this is my fear when it comes to it, right? The God of War games, right, getting back to it again. The God of War games, the original ones, were just very, like, there's just nothing like it anymore. Like, there never was anything like it when it came out, in my opinion. It was gory, it was bloody, it was violent, and a lot of nudity. Like, there's like sections of the games. There's one in particular that was just so fucking funny in the third one. There's like sections of the game where you, as Kratos, can go off and get laid. And it would obviously like zoom into like the bedside table while he's just like, and then they're like, thank you, Kratos. And like in the third one, I think it's like Aphrodite, you can go in and fuck her while her two little minions, these two women, just watch. And they just keep talking like, oh my, this is so not fit for on-screen time. Oh no. Like, they're breaking the fourth wall and being very meta about it. It was just fucking funny. And
Be gone. Kratos. It's been far too long. Even though you are no longer the god of war, you can still share my bed.
I have no time for games, Aphrodite.
Do you know how long it's been since a real man has come into my chambers? Those bridges outside are nearly destroyed. Zeus refuses to have that stupid mortal Daedalus stop working on his precious labyrinth to fix them. Ah, is that what has you all worked up? You are trying to figure out that bridge contraption out there. You men and your toys. The only one who could fix those bridges is my husband, and we both know he's worthless. Now, I ask you again, Kratos, will you stay? Kratos.
Such power. If it's this good watching, just imagine. Is he going to... By the gods! I grew jealous of our mistress.
The gods have truly blessed you, Kratos.
Then they go off and end up having a bit of funky finger time themselves. And then there's also a thing where if you don't press the right buttons at that time and you miss like the timed events, she gets pissed off. It's like, is that all you can do, Kratos? Didn't satisfy me at all, and you call yourself a man or some shit like that. And then even her little minions are like, wow, what a disappointment. And I'm just like, wow. It's just so funny. I love it. And again, with modernization, you lose that. Like back then, it was the Wild West. People just put games out with pretty much anything. Like there was a game out there called Manhunt. I'm not gonna get into that, but that game was fucking violent. My uncle gave that game to me. He's like, "Oh yeah, it's a good game. Give it a go." There's literally sections of the game where you're killing people, but because it's on the Wii, you have to do the hand gestures with the Wii remote. And I was just like, "This is bad. Like this is scaring me." So I can only play it in increments at the time. But anyway, so yeah, so like again. Modernization will, I feel like it's going to ruin that because they're going to be like, oh, especially these fucking left wokey fucking feminist twat heads. Look, they're decimating women. They look, only women good for fucky fucks and oh, shut up, man. You're saying this, but it's literally happening. Look at all the fucking OF girls out there. Like, oh, anyway, that's a different topic. But anyway, but my point is, there is certain things that just can't be modernized, and a lot of people, especially when it comes for the originals, they don't want to lose it because there's certain things that just should be preserved, and I'm for it. Preserve it. Preserve God of War. Especially the OG shit. It must be protected at all times. It must be protected. In my opinion, anyway. But whether or not they do is a different story. So now look, right? But again, that's when like the sorry, I went off on one again. But yeah, so the environment is one of the reasons why I don't think it's going to work, because back then games had to be entertaining due to their surroundings and the level design, whereas nowadays it's less so level design, more on the characters, slightly on dialogue and story, but more on combat. Whereas the OG was more, it was like a balance of what it was. The combat was fun, like the combos you could do with like the fucking the blades of chaos, and then the environment itself, the puzzles, the story, the characters, so good. Not to mention the fact that you can literally see how fucking destructive and violent and just, yeah, that Kratos was. And I'll show you this one thing as well, before we get into like what they've confirmed so far, is that at the end of the first one, right? So you can tell that they didn't think that I assume they didn't think that this game was going to go anywhere, because the ending of the first one kind of ended on a note of that was it. They weren't going to make a sequel. They weren't going to make any more, because I don't really know what they were thinking. Like, if they think it was going to do well because it was so violent, obviously it would have done well with like teenagers and stuff like that. But it was so beloved that they ended up making more of them. Like, they literally ended it like this, where it's Kratos sat on a throne, and then you've got like glimpses of time where, like, you know, it was like World War One, World War Two, like some of the other main battles and whatever else, all the way throughout history up until modern day, and then that's how the game ends. And then I was just like, wow, they really didn't think they were going to make more, because otherwise they would have left it on the cliffhanger of just him sat on the throne. And then they did. Happy days, like. But yeah, so this is what they've confirmed so far. Let's see. So, right, let's see. So, when the God of War remake was first announced at the February Sony State of Play, not a lot was known about the project outside of a flashy title sequence. The surprising trilogy remake had little information shared about them. However, a recent interview with Kratos voice actor Christopher Judge has revealed details about God of War features that were previously unknown. Judge apparently revealed the information after a fan asked him a question at a recent convention appearance. TC Carson is going to be in them, yes. It's not a reboot, but they are going to put all new technology in it. They are going to add more stuff, like a new fighting system. Based on this, it appears the new God of War remake will not feature new graphics, but an overhauled combat system as well. So again, when it comes to the graphics, I hope they're decent, but I'm more concerned when it comes to everything else. Like, I really am, because the other thing as well is that, again, graphics aside, what worked for these games was that, like, in the first one, there's a lot of chaos going on. You can even see, like, there's a section where you can see Ares walking past this part where you're fighting, because there's stuff going on in the background as well as the foreground, and that's what makes it so good. And like, we've lost so much of that. And like, I only found out about this recently, or I may have known it, but my friend reminded me of it, is that Silent Hill, the game that people love, was that they had such an issue with rendering because there was so much stuff in it that they just added loads of fog to cover it. But it worked. It added to the game. Like, you know. But yeah, let's see. So, yeah, so Christopher Judge confirmed he's not in the God of War remake, which is understandable because he wasn't in the first lot. He hinted that when his next project will be announced, you will be hearing about what we're doing probably late summer. At first, many assumed this meant the next God of War game after Ragnarok. However, one insider claims it's different. The other thing I will say, right, is that the free, again, is free, but the DLC they brought out for Ragnarok, where you can basically go in, where you go into Valhalla, I wasn't a fan. I put that shit on easy just so I can get through it, because I was more interested in the story aspect than I was anything else, and I just couldn't be asked for it. But that part I enjoyed, but I wish they would have done that a little bit different, because I'm not a fan of like going through doing fights and then getting to the point and starting all over again, or if you die you have to start all over again. I have no love for that type of thing. I don't enjoy it, but other people do, but hey ho. Yes, let's see, so blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Happening game result. Ooh. So yeah, it's been 5 years since Ragnarok released. Wait, what? It's been 5 years since Ragnarok in 2027. Perfect time as any to release the next main line. Yeah, Mental. So it'd be 5 years come next year since Ragnarok, which is just mental. So it's been 4 years so far. Let's see. La, 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 la. Okay. But yeah, so again, Christopher Judge's not going to be a part of it, but they have confirmed that they are going to change the battle mechanics. God, that took a while to get out. Blah 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 blah. Let's see. Is this? Okay, I found it. Right, so here's the... Right, okay, so yeah, so here's the thing they said.
A new announcement, and I just I have to come say hi. Are you playing in the remake?
No, well, it's gonna be TC because it's not a reboot, but they're gonna put all the new technology in it, add more stuff, a new fighting system.
Okay.
So that will be TC. The original.
Sorry, who's
the original guy?
Oh, the original, right?
Bitch, don't even know the OG one. Stupid bitch.
About what we're doing probably late summer.
Oh, that's so exciting. You didn't play in the Sparta one, right? The new announcement too?
The Sons of Sparta?
Yeah.
Well, that's a kind of 2D thing. That's about Kratos and Deimos, his brother, training to be Spartan.
The new announcement.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I didn't even know they were making a new one, which I've only just recently heard about. So I will be taking a look at that as well at some point, which is a 2D one about him and his brother. Like, I've played all of them except for Ghost of Sparta, which came out on PSP. So unless I get a PSP, I can't play it. Because it's not on PS Plus and I don't have an emulator. I don't know how to deal with them and I can't be asked dealing with them. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, new combat system. The OG voice actors coming back. And everything else in between, which we love to see. We love to see. Now, here's the one article I did see, right, that I did read up about. Where is it? So, they said that Christopher Judge made an oopsie. He didn't really do an oopsie. He just stated that they're going to have a new fighting system, which is nothing, like, oh my god, it's nothing to be like, ooh, about. It's just standard. Like, a new combat system comes with, like, any time you do a modernization of something. But, where is it? Where did I read it? So, blah, 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 blah. Some of us are... Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so new changes to technology, new fighting system. It's possible this could make the remakes will feature combat similar to reboot duology, with third-person movement and bigger emphasis on dodging and parrying. Now, you do get to dodge in the OG one. It was fairly simple. You just flick the analog stick a certain way. Parrying, I don't think that was a thing. It was an automatic thing where if you press block at the right time, it would parry on its own, type of thing. Where is this? So yeah, it's possible that this could mean the remake will feature combat similar to... Oh, I already read that, sorry, my bad. Yeah, however, something tells me that the purist of the series won't enjoy it if the hack and slash gameplay of the original was taken out. Ultimately, the original God of War games are a different breed compared to the newer ones, and it'd be a shame to lose what makes them unique. And that is exactly it. This is the issue when it comes to remakes and reboots and stuff like that, is that you lose what they used to be. And what makes it even more annoying is the fact that you can't really go back and play those games unless you're able to. Unless you've got the console and the game that it came, like the game case or the disc that it came out on at the time, or you manage to get an emulator, or you end up being able to play it on like another console or something going forward, then that's the only way you're going to be able to enjoy those. And again, this is just another one of those fucking nostalgia strikes again with the remake or the remaster. Like, I'm getting so sick of the remakes and stuff like that. But when it comes to stuff like this, I don't mind them getting a bit of a, a bit of a polish up, but just keep things as they were. Like, you can make some slight differences, but like the core foundation, just keep that the same. So like new age players can enjoy it and like get a piece of like what we had growing up. Because as much as they're like, I can't stand fucking, I can't skip cutscenes and all that shite, like, you don't understand. That's the whole point of it. You would play a game to enjoy it. There wasn't many, like, obviously there wasn't much online back in the day, but you would play a game to enjoy it. Like, that's the whole point of a story-based game, is to enjoy it, to immerse yourself in it. But with people's lack of attention span these days as well, that's not helping the case by any means whatsoever. Not at all. Not at all. But again, what do you expect? Now, here's what they're saying apparently as well. Meanwhile, Judge also mentioned that Santa Monica Studios' next project is being revealed in the summer, leading many to believe that the studio could be about to unveil the next mainline God of War game. It's rumored that the next God of War game would feature Kratos in a new world inspired by a different mythology, with Cory Barlog saying at one point that the series could tackle Egyptian or Mayan mythology. See, Mayan mythology would be cool because we don't really have many films or anything that like bases around it. The only time you see like films and stuff with mythology of any kind, it's always Greek, Egyptian, or Norse. Like, those are the main favourites for people. We don't usually see anything else. The only time we'll ever see stuff like in from like Japan is if it's from Pokemon or like other animes where like Pokemon have been incorporated with Japanese mythology and stuff like that. So it would be cool to do that, to learn more about it, and it would also be very cool to see the Egyptian one, because I would fucking love to see Kratos battle fucking Anubis or something. That'd be so fucking cool. But again, it's not going to be the same. Anyway, but yeah, it's also possible we might get a game focusing on Atreus, okay, who parts ways with Kratos at the end of God of War Ragnarok, spoiler, to finding members of his race. See, that, I would be interested in see that, but I don't think it would be as big as obviously as his dad, who's like, the #1 story maker. But like, it would be, I think, on the same level of, what was it called? Is it called Uncharted Legacy? I think it's called. This one. Yeah, no. Yeah. No? Yeah, Uncharted Legacy of Thieves. I think that's what it's called. No, that's not what it's called. No, it is what it's called. I don't know. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, Uncharted Legacy of Thieves. With his Chloe and what's her name from fucking the black woman? What's her name? Something Cross. I think her name's Cross. Is her name Cross? I can't remember. Either way, it's got the two women from Uncharted in it, and that one, for what it was, short and sweet, but it was actually really fun. Like, I actually enjoyed it. So, we'll see how it goes anyway. But yeah, so like, again, we'll see how it goes, because again, there's not much we can do at this point, because it's still in early access. Like, it's still early access. Well, there's not much we can do. I just hope they don't hang on, something divine more than just God of War Remake. Yeah, I just hope they don't ruin it. A lot of things, unfortunately, these days who've done like remakes and stuff, they end up ruining what the legacy that they've built. Like, I know this is not even a game, but it's a film. But like, okay, like, look at Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice is one of those films that just didn't need a sequel, but yet they done it anyway and ruined it. Like, that whole film was just like, it's a fun watch. Like, if there's nothing on TV and you turn on and it's on, it's one of those. You don't actually go looking for it. But that kind of ruined its legacy. Same goes for like Happy Gilmore. They didn't need a sequel. It was a one-time thing. That's all it needed. Even though it was very up to date and stuff like that, and it kind of worked, but again, it just did not need to be. And to me, it kind of ruined the legacy a little bit, like just a little bit. But overall, that's what it is on the matter. Like I said, the game mechanics, like the battle mechanics, were very simple back in the day. It was literally, you beat an enemy, you get these red blobs, and you like you hold them, and then you'll have like these like little circles, which I'll show the video of it anyway. You'll have like these circles that you fill up, and it goes like level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. I think like the max out level was like 10 or 8 or something like that. And then you max it out that way. Like I said, it's very simplistic in what it was for, you know, the mechanics and engines that they had back in the day. And it fit. Everything about it fit. And modernization, sometimes it just doesn't work. It just does not work. And it can't work. And it won't work. And there's just nothing you can do about it. So I just hope they don't ruin it. And I hope they keep it as it was, with the little changes. Like the main ones I don't want is, I don't want the over-the-shoulder third-person view, because I fucking hate that. I despise it with a passion. I just dealt with it when I played it, because I just feel like it's too zoomed in. Like, zoom out a bit. Like, I don't need to be up his ass. Like, I don't need to be in Kratos' fucking rectum. Like, I just don't need that. Back up. But that, the fighting mechanics, I hope they keep the same. But the level up system, I hope they change it slightly, because they don't need to change it in its entirety. Like, they just don't. It does not need to be extravagant by any means. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm going to keep up to date with this anyway, and we'll see how it goes. But I seen it, and I was like, I need to make a video on this. Like, I really do, because I was like, ah! I know I picked my mic again, but I don't care, because I love it. Like, yes. So Kratos is coming back. OG Kratos is coming back. The fucking fandom will awaken once more, and we'll see how it goes. So if you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments, because I'm curious as to what people are saying, and I really want to know. I do apologize that this was a bit all over the place. I didn't actually write anything down. Like, I didn't write a script, and I was just like, I just need to go out and just fucking say my piece and be done. But yeah, so if you agree, like I said, or disagree, leave a comment, and you know, I'll check it out, because I'm curious what other people are saying about this. I did not mean to make this video this fucking long, but when you go on tangents and you're passionate about shit, it takes up time. What can you do? So we'll see how it goes anyway. But yeah, yeah, and I apologize for any lackluster editing, but I'm very limited in the capacity of what I can do at the moment, so I'm still trying to figure that out for the time being. But yeah, for now anyway, ladies and gents, I will love you and leave you for now. It's been a while since I've had to record, so I've lost myself. So, but yeah, bleh. Yeah, I'll love you and leave you for now. I hope you enjoyed my rantings. I'm wondering what you're all saying, but yeah. But for now, please like and subscribe and follow me. And fuck off, man. Bleh! But yeah, I will love you and leave you for now, ladies and gents. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did, because I loved it, and I can't wait for the next one. Like, ah! Oh my god, this is going to be so much fun having the music back again. Like, yes! OG fucking Kratos. But like I said, they best keep some of the good shit in, like it's supposed to be. Because they went fucking modest as shit when they went to the North. They became very modest. When it's cold, what you expect. But yeah. Anyway, if you liked this video, please leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Follow more of my nonsense. And yeah, and I'll see you in the next one. Hoyo!